Students, let us study about the one more concept called osmosis. Okay, and before going to understand the definition of osmosis, let us uh, go back or let us remember the structure of plant cell. Okay, and I already told you to study the transport processes in plants. What is the basic information or basic knowledge required here? The structure of the plant cell as well as the anatomy of the plants, right? Okay, and here when we observe the plant cell, okay, when we observe the plant cell, it is surrounded by a cell membrane or plasma membrane, and even cell wall will also be present, right? Okay. The plant cell is surrounded by a cell membrane or plasma membrane, and even next to this one the cell wall will be present. Okay, and what is the nature or character of cell wall here? The cell wall is said to be freely permeable. Okay, the cell wall is said to be freely permeable to water and substances in solution, right? It means it can allow the substances uh, passing through it, right? It is said to be freely permeable. Okay, it means it can allow any type of molecules. Okay, water and the substances in solution. Okay, it means it can allow any type of molecules or substances, so we consider it as the cell wall as the freely permeable nature, right? And here and because of this one it will not become any barrier to the movement of these substances, right? And one more character of the plant cells is the plant cells usually contain a large central vacuole. Okay, this is the important character in the plants. Okay, the plant cells contain a large vacuole, and in the vacuole what it contains? It contains the vacuolar sap. Okay, we call it as the vacuolar sap. Okay, vacuolar sap means what here? It contains mainly water along with some dissolved uh, substances. Okay, so we call it as the vacuolar sap, right? And uh, the presence of these chemicals in the vacuole or in the vacuolar sap, they contribute to the solute potential of the cell. Okay, it means uh, remember, in the water the different solutes will be dissolved here. Okay, and it forms the solute potential or osmotic potential of the cell, right? And other important character is, okay, the cell membrane and the membrane of the vacuole. Okay, the second point is there, the cell membrane as well as the tonoplast. Okay, tonoplast means what here? The membrane of the vacuole. Okay, cell membrane and the tonoplast, the membrane of the vacuole, are important determinants of movement of molecules in or out of a plant cell. Okay, these two will determine, okay, whether the molecules will come inside the cell or the molecules will move outside the cell. Okay, it depends on both the structures like cell membrane as well as the tonoplast, right? And here uh, based on this, what we can define here? Osmosis we can define like this. Okay, it is the spontaneous diffusion of water. Okay, it is the spontaneous diffusion of water across a differentially or semi permeable membrane, right? And other in other terms it can be also defined as, okay, in textbook what is there? Osmosis is the term used to refer specifically to the diffusion of water across differentially or semi selectively permeable membrane, right? Okay, this is the definition, right? And the other point, okay, vacuolar sap in large central vacuole contributes to solute potential of the cell because the different substances are dissolved in it. Okay, because of this one, the it forms or contributes to solute potential of the cell, right? And and here To understand the process of osmosis, okay, a small activity is given here, okay, and imagine that there are two chambers here, okay, chamber A and chamber B, okay, and in chamber A we mention it as solution A, and in chamber B we mention it as solution B, right? And in chamber A, what is there? Water is there, then solute molecule is there, and in chamber B also water is there and the solute molecules are there. But remember, in chamber A, okay, in solution A, more water molecules will be there and less solute molecules are there, right? And in chamber B, water is less but the solute will be more, or solute particles will be more, okay. And because of this one, solute A, solution A, okay, it will be having high water potential, okay, because water concentration is more and high solute potential, right? high solution High solute potential, right? Okay. And solution B, okay, why we mention it as high solute potential? Okay, because the solute molecule is less, okay, and its value will be more, right? Then solution B, low water potential and low solute potential, okay, because the solute particles will be more, okay. Because of this one, it shows the water potential will be negative here, okay. Low water potential and low solute potential, right? And here net direction and rate of osmosis, and here the water will move from chamber A to B, right? Okay, from solution A to solution B, right? Okay, and here, and based on this in textbook, they will ask the different questions, okay, like 6 to 7 questions are there. Question number 1, what is there? Solution of which chamber has lower water potential? Solution of which chamber has lower water potential? It means what here? Answer will be B. B chamber, second one, will be having lower water potential. Then next question, solution of which chamber has a lower solute potential? Okay, again it is B only. Okay, solution of which chamber has a lower solute potential? Okay, again the answer will be B only. And next question they will ask, in which direction will osmosis occur? Okay, in which direction will osmosis occur? It means what here? Water will move from the A to B, okay, solution A to B, okay, from higher water potential to the lower water potential, okay. The water will move like this, right? And the next question, what is there? Fourth one, uh, which solution has a higher solute potential? Okay, which solution has a higher solute potential? Okay, and here the value of solute potential, it will be higher in A chamber, okay, because the less solute molecules are there, okay. The value of solute potential becomes more here, higher solute potential, right? Okay, and for next question, question number 5, at equilibrium which chamber will have lower water potential? Okay, at equilibrium uh, which chamber will have lower water potential? It means what here? When the equilibrium is reached, the water potential will be equal in both the chambers, okay. The water potential will be equal in both the chambers like A and B, right? And in addition to this one, again they will ask one more question, right? What is that question? If one chamber has a, if one chamber has a uh, water potential of minus 2000 kilopascals and the other having minus 1000 kilopascals, okay, which is the chamber that has the higher water potential, right? Okay, and here uh, according to the question, you can refer the NCERT textbook for this question, right? And what is there? They have mentioned it as F, question number F. Okay, A B C D E F G, like that they have mentioned. You can refer the question F here. If one chamber has psi, it is nothing but water potential only of minus 2000 kilopascals, and the other will be having minus 1000 kilopascals, which is the chamber that has the higher water potential. Okay, and here the answer will be minus 1000 kilopascals, right? And here, because the water molecules will be more and the solute will be less. Okay, and because of this one we consider minus 1000 kilopascals as the answer, right? Okay. And one more question is there. Okay, what will be the direction of the movement of water? What will be the direction of the movement of water when two solutions with, okay, when two solutions with water potential is equal to 0.2 megapascals, and one more is water potential is equal to 0.1 megapascals, are separated by a selectively permeable membrane. Selectively permeable membrane. Okay, in this case, what will be the direction of the movement of water? Okay, and it will move from 0.1 megapascals to 0.2 megapascals. Okay, and why we are going to consider 0.1 megapascals here? And here, in case of this one, the value of water potential will be more. Okay, and here in 0.2 megapascals, the value of water potential will be less. Okay, then water will move from 0.1 megapascals to 0.2 megapascals, right? This is the correct answer, right? And regarding this one, uh, regarding the osmosis, another important point is there. What is that one? The net direction. Okay, the net direction and rate of osmosis depends on, okay, net direction and rate of osmosis depends on pressure gradient and concentration gradient. Okay, pressure gradient means what here? The difference in the pressure. Concentration gradient means what here? The difference in the concentration, right? Okay, net direction and rate of osmosis depends on pressure gradient as well as the concentration gradient. Okay, and here when we study this sentence, then what will happen here? Water moves from its region of higher chemical potential. Okay, water moves from its region of higher chemical potential or concentration to its region of lower chemical potential until equilibrium is reached. Okay, until equilibrium is reached. Okay, then at equilibrium at equilibrium, the two chambers should have the same water potential. Okay, when the equilibrium is reached, the two chambers shows the same water potential, right? Okay. Then on osmosis, and one more uh, concept. Okay, and here this is an experiment. Okay, this is an experiment to show the process of osmosis. Okay, and here the experiment is commonly called potato osmometer experiment. Okay, I hope you have studied this experiment in your schools, right? And remember, this is also considered as the physiological experiment to demonstrate the osmosis. Okay, two experiments are there. Okay, and this is considered as the physiological experiment to demonstrate osmosis, because the osmosis will be occurring in the living cells. Okay, and one more experiment is there. the that experiment is called as thistle funnel experiment. Okay, and that experiment is considered as physical experiment to demonstrate the osmosis, right? And here, this is the experimental demonstration, right? And what is there? They have given a brief procedure here. Okay, make a cavity in a potato tuber. Okay, in this pour concentrated sugar solution. Okay, this setup is called potato osmometer. Okay, place it in water. Okay, as a result water enters the cavity due to osmosis, right? And here I can tell you in brief. Okay, and in the beginning what we are going to do here, we are going to take a large sized potato tuber, and we are going to peel it or remove the skin of the potato with the help of the scalpel. Okay, scalpel will be there in your dissection box. Okay, and with the help of scalpel we are going to remove the skin of the potato tuber, and then we are going to cut it. Okay, we are going to cut the potato tuber into two parts. Okay, and we can make it a flat one. Okay, that because the base should be uh, uh, it should be flat, right? Okay, and then with the help of scalpel, then you are going to remove some amount of tissue in the middle. Okay, it means you are going to make a cavity here, but that cavity should not it should reach the almost the bottom side. Okay, um, and but it should not damage the bottom at the time of preparation. Okay, otherwise what will happen, if we add the sugar solution in the cavity, it will move into the beaker or the petri dish, right? And here we are going to make a boat here or cavity, and inside that we are going to add the sugar solution, say for example 10% sugar solution, right? Okay, and uh, after adding sugar solution we are going to mark that level with the pin. Okay, it is shown here, pin. Then you are going to keep this osmometer in a petri dish or beaker containing water, right? And here in the given diagram you can refer here before osmosis and after osmosis, right? And here they have kept the beaker. Here in a beaker they have kept the potato osmometer. Okay, and after some time, okay, we are going to observe the result here. Okay, and in beaker remember water will be there, and in potato tuber or in cavity sugar solution will be there. Okay, and here the two pins they have mentioned. Okay, one, the red colored one shows the initial level of the sugar solution, and the green colored one shows the final level of the sugar solution. And here after some time, due to osmosis, the water will move from beaker to the potato cavity. Okay, and here in potato the living cells will be there. Okay, cells means the water will move from one cell to the another cell, finally it reaches the cavity of the tuber. Okay, and hence there is an increase in the level of the sugar solution, right? And based on this we can understand that the movement of the water or any solvent molecules move from its higher concentration to the lower concentration, and here water concentration will be more in the beaker and the water concentration will be less in the potato cavity. Okay, why it is less? Because of the presence of the sugar or the solute, right? And based on this we can prove that the osmosis or the movement of water or any other solvent, it occurs from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. Okay, and here membrane is important here. Okay, it occurs through a semi permeable membrane or selectively permeable membrane, right? Okay, this is a small experiment to understand the process of osmosis. Okay, and remember we call it as the potato osmometer experiment or potato osmoscope experiment, right? Okay, then next one more experiment is called as a thistle funnel experiment. Okay, a thistle funnel experiment. Okay, and here you can understand in one, two setups are there, right? In one setup what you can observe, okay, a thistle funnel. Okay, it is filled with the sucrose solution, say for example 10% sucrose solution. It is kept inverted in a beaker. Okay, it is kept inverted in a beaker containing pure water. Okay, in beaker what will be there? Water or pure water will be there, and in Thistle funnel what will be there? Sucrose solution will be there. And say for example 10% sucrose solution, right? And here uh, uh, sucrose is taken in a funnel. Okay, and that funnel is separated from pure water in a beaker by a selectively permeable membrane, and here both are separated here, funnel as well as the pure water. These two are separated by a selectively permeable membrane. Funnel means what? Here in funnel what will be present? The sugar solution will be present. Okay, or sucrose solution will be present. Sucrose solution as well as the pure water, they are separated by a membrane or selectively permeable membrane. Okay, and here uh, uh, what is important here, which membrane we are taking here? Okay, that is the membrane of the egg. Okay, and here uh, we can take the egg membrane, right? And how to obtain the egg membrane? A small procedure is there. Okay, and we can take one egg and we can remove the whatever the yolk and albumin is present inside the egg. We are going to remove it by making a small hole at one end of the egg. A small hole at one end of the egg. Okay, we are removing all these contents like yolk as well as the albumin. Okay, and then we are going to keep that shell. Okay, shell, that calcareous shell, in a dilute solution of hydrochloric acid. Okay, dilute solution of hydrochloric acid for few hours. Okay, then what will happen? The eggshell dissolves. Okay, the eggshell, that is nothing but the calcium carbonate, that will dissolve, leaving the membrane intact. Okay, only the membrane will remain there. Okay, and we can choose that membrane for the experiment, right? And here after doing all these experimental setup, we are going to make the experimental setup like this, and after this one we are going to keep the experimental setup for some time. Okay, and then what will happen here? The osmosis will occur. Okay, and remember, in beaker pure water will be there, and in Thistle funnel sucrose solution will be there. And here if osmosis occurs, then how it occurs? Here the water will move into the funnel. Okay, whatever the water is present in the beaker, it moves into the funnel. As a result, the level of the solution in the funnel rises. Okay, the level of the solution in the funnel rises. Okay, and here to understand the increase in the level of solution, we can mark in the funnel, we can mark the initial level with marker pen, and finally we can know, understand the level increased by the solution, that is considered as the final level, right? And here water moves into the funnel. As a result, the level of the solution in the funnel increases or rises. It continues till the equilibrium is reached. Okay, it continues till the equilibrium is reached, right? And one more thing is, uh, say for example, okay, and in the same experiment only, okay, if an external pressure is applied from the upper part of the funnel. Okay, imagine that if an external pressure is applied from the upper part of the funnel, no water diffuses into the funnel through the membrane. Okay, because we are going to apply some pressure or external pressure from the upper part of the funnel. Okay, then it will stop the entry of water molecules into the funnel. Okay, so no water diffuses into the funnel through the membrane. Okay, and here this is called what? Here this pressure required. Okay, the pressure required to prevent water diffusion is called as the osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure. And remember, osmotic potential is different, osmotic pressure is different. Okay, the pressure required to prevent water diffusion is called as the osmotic pressure. Okay, and this is considered as the function of solute concentration. This is the function of solute concentration. It means what here? If solute concentration is more, then more pressure will be required, right? And so we mention like this is the function of solute concentration. More the solute concentration, greater will be the pressure required to prevent water diffusion. Okay, if solute concentration is more, what is more required here? The pressure or osmotic pressure is more required. Okay, then another important point. Okay, and here numerically osmotic pressure is equivalent to the osmotic potential, right? Osmotic pressure is required to prevent water diffusion is the osmotic pressure. This is the function of solute concentration, and I explained this point. More the solute concentration, greater will be the pressure required to prevent water diffusion, right? And remember why we are going to study all these things here. And such phenomenon will occur in the plants. Okay, it means the osmotic pressure will develop in the plant. Okay, at some situations or in some situations, right? And uh, numerically what we mention here, numerically osmotic pressure is equivalent to the osmotic potential numerically. Okay, it means what here? We are going to mention like this: OP is equal to psi s, osmotic pressure is equal to solute potential or osmotic potential, but the sign is opposite. Okay, sign will be opposite here. And here why the sign will become opposite here? Because osmotic pressure is a positive pressure. Okay, positive pressure applied, so we consider it as the plus, right? And osmotic potential is negative. Okay, osmotic potential is negative. Okay, why we consider it as the negative? Because in a pure water, if we add some solute, the water potential value will be reduced there, or the water potential will be reduced. Okay, because of this one, we consider osmotic potential will be having a negative value, whereas the osmotic pressure will be having a positive value. Okay, because that is the positive pressure applied here, right? Okay, and this is regarding the process of osmosis, right? And remember, uh, uh, in the next class, okay, I'm going to continue with the one more concept called as the plasmolysis. Okay, like the plasmolysis, right? Plasmolysis, and even I can explain one more concept called as imbibition. Plasmolysis as well as the imbibition, right? And after watching the YouTube class, you can watch the YouTube class along with your NCERT textbook. Okay, so that you can easily understand. Okay, right? And if any confusions are there, okay, or doubts are there, we'll try to solve them, right? Okay, thank you.